Hey everyone, welcome back to part two of my book collection. Well, some of my book collection. I was showing you some of my books. We left off with How to Read Music. That one I picked up for $11.95 at Books a Million here at the local mall here in town, here in Laredo. Let's get back into it. Now, I'm a big fan of the show, of the MTV reality show, The Hills, and I was also a big fan of the show prior to that one, Laguna Beach. I'm also a big fan of Lauren Conrad, which was one of the main stars of The Hills, of Laguna Beach, and then was the main star of The Hills. And I have several books by her that she's written. Since then, she became an author and a designer. I have several books that she's written. I have her first book, uh, Lauren Conrad's L.A. Candy, a novel. I've actually, it's kind of seen better days. It's a little worn out and everything because this one I carry it around with me because I'm actually reading this one, and it's a pretty good story. I haven't had a chance to really sit down and read the whole thing straight through, but I've been reading passages here and there, and from what I read so far, it's a pretty good book. So I definitely recommend it. Staying on the subject, well, retail for $9.99. When I bought it, I paid full price for it, but now I think you can find it for under $5 at Books a Million, or you can get it maybe a little bit higher than that, maybe a little bit cheaper than that. Depends on where you buy it. But definitely do check it out. I do recommend it. Staying on the subject, the second book. Now, uh, only the second and the book from the new series, the first book from the new series, I have on hardcover. I want to get everything on hardcover from this series, but I haven't found it yet. So uh, this is Lauren Conrad's Sweet Little Lies and Nellie Candy novel. This is, I believe, the second book in the collection in the storyline for this series. This one retailed for $17.99. Picked it up for like $5. Put some in it. It's a hardcover. Like I said, I've been reading the first book. I haven't had a chance to read any of the rest of the books, so I want to read it in unison from the first book, then the second one, and the third one, and on so forth. So I'm waiting until I finish the first book to read this one. The back has got a photo of her, dust cover. Moving on, I have the third book on the series, L.A. Candy, Sugar and Spice, an L.A. Candy novel, which is the third book in the series. The L.A. Candy series has three books. Those two that I showed you right now, and this one. There's the back of it. And like I said, I want to read first the first one, and then the second one, and then this one. So I haven't read this one either. But if the first one's an indication, it's going to be good. Now, she put out also another series of three books that I picked up the first one, which is Lauren Conrad, The Fame Game. It's the first book of the new series that she put out. I don't know if she's done anything else since this series. I know she has two more books out that are not uh, novels. But they're like more like self-help books. But I haven't read this one yet, but I'm sure it's going to be a great book. And in the back, that's cover. That's it. Now, on the self-help books that I was just mentioning, I picked up Lauren Conrad Style. And it's got like those style tips and all that. I know I'm not a girl. As you can see, I'm a guy, of course. But like I said, I'm a big fan of Lauren Conrad, and it's just a little reading material. Just to read, and maybe I can get it autographed one of these days. It retailed for $12.99. Ended up picking it up for maybe like $6. The other ones, the Fame Game was $18.99, and the other paperback of Sugar and Spice was $9.99 as well. But I ended up picking that one up for like $3, like $3. Another one that I picked up for $5 that was retail for $9.99 as well as in a paperback edition is one of Lauren's best friends from Laguna Beach and also from the Hills. Lo Bosworth's The Lowdown. It's a pretty good book. I've read some of it. Not all of it, but I read some of it. I can't wait to finish what it is. It's like a little manual, I guess you could say, but it's more like a little book. It's got a little storyline to it, but it's also like dating tips and like that. But the storyline's pretty good on it. I picked it up because, like I said, I'm a fan of the shows and I'm a fan of theirs, so I picked it up for that. And it turned out to be a pretty good read. I'm also a huge animal lover and I love horses. So in that aspect, I picked up two books that involve horses as well. First one is How to Think Like a Horse. The Essential Handbook for Understanding why your horse acts the way he does, or understanding why horses do what they do. Cherry Hill best-selling author of Housekeeping and Small Acreage. Over 1,000 copies sold of the book. So it must be a good book if it's over 1,000 copies sold. Retail for $19.99. And ended up picking it up for $15. And it's got several shows for you different aspects of the horse, like skeleton structure, gives you stories of behavior, horse behavior, and also shows you different techniques on how to work with a horse and stuff like that. It's a pretty good book. Sorry. I read only a couple of pages. I haven't read it all, but over 1,000 copies sold, so probably a good book, probably. On the same subject, I picked up Story's Guide to Training Horses. Groundwork, Driving, Riding. New edition of best-selling classic. Heather Smith Thomas. And this is this one. Now this one retailed for $19.95. That's what I ended up paying for it. It shows you different techniques on working with foals and colts, building different type of horses, and gives you different techniques on how to ride. Got also how to work with a horse, like which bit to use on the horse when you're riding. Got different stuff like that. As you can see, it's a pretty thick book, so I've only skimmed through it. I haven't really read it, but I love this stuff, so there you go. Well, That's 10 minutes, so I'll be back for part 3 of the book collection. Thank you.